Hi, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
And together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet. Almost didn't get that out, Brad.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Wow, we got a good start here, don't we? Okay, Brad, today we're going to talk about how flat feet can damage feet, knees, and hips.
Right.
All the way up the chain, basically.
You better
is what
leave
you're
it
saying.
right from there to the top. Don't get too excited if you are flat-footed. This may not happen to you. Depends how severe it is. But this is the mechanics of it, and it's very interesting. So why don't you, Bob, stand up.
You want me to start up with that? All right.
Let's get right up there. Bob's our volunteer and model for this. There you go. Be careful, Bob.
Yep,
Be careful.
there we go.
Be careful. There you go.
I actually do not have flat feet.
Right, but we'll get this. Let's show you how to do it. Can we zoom into the arch of the foot here? Right there. Bob's got a nice arch. He's a little ticklish. Huh?
Yeah.
Now I want you to flatten out a little bit, and when you put weight on it, this gap right here where my fingers are, this bone right here will actually come down, and with some people it will make contact with the floor. That's pretty severe.
Yeah.
Okay, and if that's happening with you, you probably have some special shoes if you're going that flat. Okay, so that's what we're calling flat foot or pronation in the therapy world.
Right.
Okay, so what happens is the tissues underneath here, the plantar, the bottom tissues, when your foot splays out, they get stretched, and over time they can continue to stretch, and like I said, get that navicular bone right down to the floor, which is not what you want. So some supportive shoes, which I'll talk about in a little bit. The next thing, if we go up to the knee, what happens to the mechanics of the leg when that foot pronates and flattens out? The tibia rotates this direction, this way. So look at the red tape right there. It goes in, and we got a little rotation there, and that can throw the mechanics of the knee off slightly. Therefore, you can, get some arthritic changes prematurely in the knee, Bob.
It's amazing how the slightest little change there can affect this, and that can affect pain and
Yep, and it's going to produce
mechanics.
problems down the way. But wait, Bob, there's more.
Yes, there is more.
Okay, that internally rotates the tibia, and look at the knee. It also puts a stress on the MCL, the ligament here, and you get that
Medial collateral ligament.
knock-kneed.
Yeah, so you can see both knees are starting to get knock-kneed because
Right.
I'm flat foot. And you see that quite often on people, Brad. They're walking along, and I can see their flat feet are causing them to be knock-kneed.
Right, it's going right up the chain, and then even up into the hip. The
Yep.
femur will rotate in, and that can put some stress on the posterior, the muscles on the back side of the hip and into the joint itself. Again, can cause problems as we age prematurely, as if you didn't have the.
It's like a little hole in the dam, isn't it, Brad?
Right. So what's the easy way to correct this? We do have a video with some exercises that can help this.
Sure.
But probably the better way is to get the proper pair of footwear for this, and you can do this without getting custom footwear for $500 or $600, depending on the severity of your case. But let me get a shoe here. And if you go and you're going to ask to a good shoe store, say I need a pair of shoes for flat-footed people, or technically they're called motion control shoes. If you say the term motion control,
I'll put the word down below,
yeah.
Brad. So
Any good salesperson should know exactly what you're talking about. And this is not a motion control shoe, but on a motion control shoe, you're going to notice a very thick sole right through here. You're not going to have this indent here. It's all the way across. It's very thick, and it's that way so that when your foot flattens, it supports it.
Right.
And if you do this to a motion control shoe, you will not have this bend. It'll be almost like a board, and just the tip will bend a little bit.
Sure,
It costs
very
more.
stiff.
They're going to be about $150 or so, depending on what you get. So buy them on sale if you're like me, and that's it.
Yeah, that'll help control the problems going all the way up the.
Yeah, but even if you get these motion control shoes, it's not going to do anything for that broken heart, Bob.
That's right. We can fix just about anything, but we can't fix a broken heart. Darn it!
What do you say to that, Leopold?
I sure hope we can figure that out sometime. So, thanks.